I'm a PhD student from Marseille. I'm a political scientist. I research drug use among LGBTQ people and in queer spaces. One part of my research also focuses on community level regulation, so self-help groups or more like informal care practices. Or even how queer spaces, queer places and events intervene on drugs and choose to allow or develop harm reduction on certain drug uses. So that's why I chose these posters. So they're from a collective from Marseille called error.tpg. So TPG stands for Transpédéguine, which is a translation of queer, one of the translations. So I brought some of these posters are really about harm reduction messages. So yeah, it's translated in English, but very small. So it's like, think of like cutting your ecstasy pill so that you don't get like bad. The second one is like alcohol, drugs, and heat, drink some water. The third one is like protect your nose, change your straw. The fourth one is like not sure of what you got, think of microdosing. And the other ones were more related to broader political messages that the collective was trying to convey, such as this one is like get tested is protecting yourself, or like all queers hate the state. Yeah, these are the same ones. So I wanted to give a little more precise insight of this collective based on a discussion I had with them to try to see what's their relationship to harm reduction and community care. So error.tpg is a queer collective from Marseille. They organize parties by queer people for queer people, and by queer they mean so LGBTQIA people, mostly queer people of color and sex workers. So they said partying to them is political because our queer bodies, music and lifestyles are political, but this needs to be reasserted in queer spaces. So for them, these posters are a way to do that, and they were stuck on the walls during their last party in October. They also posted it on their social media. So their intention was to bring the public, which is queer and non-queer, to discuss many different topics, so queer, trans, and sex work-related issues, issues of criminalization, issues of precariousness, policing, deportations, and any other violence against the marginalized. And the other intention is to create an actual inclusive space in which the more marginalized parts of LGBTQ plus communities feel welcome. So that's why there were also messages on sex work that I don't have here. Yeah, I do. So this one is abolish police, not whores. So the position of the collective is that it's impossible to achieve 100% safe space. However, they try to set up different means to create a welcoming and pressure-free environment and a pretty harm-free environment. So they have a harm reduction table at their parties with harm reduction information and equipment. Two of their members are visible through the evening. They're walking around and they're trying to stay lucid also to be available to deal with any kind of problem. One thing I found really interesting is that they sent a message before the party. It was a Halloween party, to say that there was no dress code because they acknowledge the pressure that it can be to have to wear a certain kind of outfit to go to a certain kind of party, especially when you're poor or anxious. And so they said, like, you can come kinky or with leather or anything, or you can come in your pajamas and you will be welcome anyway. And I think it also takes the pressure off to take a lot of drugs or alcohol. And finally, they are not forbidding any substances, but they are trying to foster discussions on consent and what substances do to consent. And that's all for me. Thank you.